Hey folks, I thought I'd do a video on my hobby room. It's been something I've been meaning to do. I just recently moved into this apartment a month or so ago, and it took me a couple weeks to unpack and get this room organized, but I'm fairly happy with it. We always get a hobby room whenever we move, just because I have too much stuff to really put in closets or something like that. So. Um, Right to the left here is my little paint station. I got all my paints and my little, this is kind of a nice little lamp. Provides light in one direction. And if you need to get closer on a model, it does have that little glass there so you can see the model a bit closer. I don't really use that though. And I have the models that I'm working with. So Slaanesh demons for the most part. They're almost done. That shelf used to be almost full. I got some models done this month already, and a few more on my painting desk that are getting close to finished. Let's see here. I got lots of cool posters. A lot of them just don't have room to really put up. This is a cardboard cutout of the Space Marine from 3rd edition. These things are super rare. I mean, I don't know. I've never even seen one other ever. This used to be on display at the store, and I convinced the guy that I could buy it. I love it. So what I have over here are books. These are mostly rule books and army books. If you play every army, it's ridiculous because you just spend oodles of money on buying all the codexes and army books. And, a lot of people are pretty happy that there's nothing coming out for Age of Sigmar, but if you like 40k as well, it's kind of a non-stop. Most of these are White Dwarfs, some bits and pieces there. Black Library novels and White Dwarfs as well. The Weekly White Dwarf. Up above, I got 3 shelves. They contain the terrain, but a little bit of 40k terrain. I'm very weak on 40k terrain. Mostly just fantasy terrain. And then these little shelving units are bits for all the armies. And I've been meaning to put these on eBay or something because I'm not a huge person in conversions, and I have like buckets of bits, really too much. And then above there I have Hero Quests and Battle Masters. I'll be making a video on Battle Masters I think next week or so. And some of the old box sets, the Horus Heresy board game. And in the closet, I have the Realm of Battles board, which I've never really used. I have to get it out and put the flock on and actually make it usable. Right now it's just gray plastic, as it's been for a number of years. I got some just kind of odds and ends in here, really. The card games are in here. I used to collect the Warhammer card games. I still do to an extent. That's kind of a hobby in and of itself. Let's see. We got a few more plastic bins of these. Generally, they're kind of odds and ends for different like catalogs and things like that. Games Workshop pamphlets and other board games. So I got Dreadfleet down there and Space Hulk, and one of the bins is full of Black Library novels and all things like that. And then I got a wall scroll of the Chapter Master for the Ultramarines. Kind of a cool poster. I got a bunch of these. I don't know if you can see that well. I love it. And these are store items that used to go on like the. I was a roommate of a person who owned our store where we all used to go play, and so he used to give them all to me for free, which I loved. Alright, so I got a bunch of posters and things like that. So, the table that I usually use is this. It's a 6x4. This is my Orcs and Goblins army is on top. I just did a video on that. But this is just plywood. And I usually have the plywood piece just out in the hallway. I don't actually have it usually in the room. And underneath is an island. We lived at a house where they were kind of reworking parts of it, and basically they had this piece of wood piece that was in the middle of their kitchen, and so we took it, and it's an awesome piece. So underneath the plywood is the island piece, and that's about, I think that's a 4x5. So it's actually a really kind of nice little table in and of itself. And I have a couple bar stools as kind of methods for sitting. Yeah, so I have a bunch of posters. I got the Warhammer poster, a couple limited edition prints. As I said, I have a lot of posters that are still rolled up. These are more items that would be promoting the individual store that, again, were just given to me for free. And these are 2 Warhammer ones. I have a lot of posters and stuff for 40K, so I thought I would work that out. So this is how I store the models in my collection. A lot of models. I don't really count models in the hundreds at this point. They're well into much above that. So I have little army cases down here. Those are completely inappropriate at this point. So this is, I'm always curious about how people store their models. This is my method of these individual drawers. I just think it's a pretty decent way. It looks nice and clean. It's relatively well organized, and I know where all the armies are depending on the drawer. It's, you know, each of these little individual pieces, I think they're about $10 to $12 a piece, so it's not a cheap way of doing it. Like each of these is 1 and 2 and 3, so it's probably about $200 or so worth of these drawers. But you know, I bought them over the course of a couple of years. Every now and then I just pick up one. I bought 2 more just a couple days ago. So that's why these 3 are empty. I'm kind of reorganizing because a lot of them are just really kind of overcrowded. I think it's a decent way of doing it. People have them on the shelves, and that's honestly how I used to do it. I used to have my models, you know, on these shelves. But if they're out there for like a number of years, then it doesn't really work, I find, because over time they'll kind of get dirty and dusty, which is annoying. But these individual drawers can't hold the larger models, so I have a few larger bins. I got 2. They have vehicles and things like that in them. And then I have 3 more bins, larger bins for models. And up top are some unassembled kits. So I got the mail order boxes from years ago. One of those is Imperial Guard vehicles. The other is Battlefield Gothic. This is Army of Grey Knights that's unassembled. The box below it is the Blood Angels and Tyranid box set that came out last year, and the contents in there are actually from more than one box, so it's quite a bit there. So that's my hobby room. I have a ton of painting to do, but what can you say? Working on that. And thanks for watching, guys.